through with her first ever cream bronzer, and of course, we have to see what's up with it. I have to go to Orlando. I have my husband and my kids waiting for me downstairs, but here I am. I got you. I understand the FOMO, so I didn't want to leave without putting this video out for you guys so I can really tell you what's the real deal with these bronzers. Besides this, of course, I picked up the new products from Makeup by Mario to review for you guys. At first, I was thinking about comparing them, but I'm not going to do that no more because they're totally different products, totally different formulations, and what they do on the face is totally different. I did put out a short showing you guys how this looks, the shades, and just giving you a little some about the products, but stay tuned because this video it's coming up. The Sun Kiss Glow Bronzer, it is made in Italy, $56, and she's also selling this kit for $91. It comes with the bronzer and the brush. The brush is about this size, and to be honest with you, she's basically charging $40, $35 to be more specific, and I don't think it's worth it. If you have a lot of brushes in your collection, you definitely don't need it. The packaging, it's so overwhelming me. There's too much writing in the front, in the back, on the sides, and also right here. Like, I was looking for the shade back here and it was a mission and a half. I know I must be blinding you and annoying you and driving you crazy with this packaging, but it's cute though. I like it. It comes with 0.74 ounces and her powder bronzer comes with 0.56, which it does have a little bit more. Comparing the packaging, they're basically about the same size, but remember that this one is completely round, this one is oval. That's why it's taken a little bit from the size. But the cream bronzer, it's a lot thicker than the powder, which if you ask me, I wish it wasn't so thick. I picked up 2 shades out of the 4 shades available. It's so hard to open if you have long nails. Like, I'm not even joking. What a struggle to open this up. I got the shade Fair. It is a natural soft bronze, and then the formulation, it is so creamy. I actually was impressed with the pigmentation because this is the first shade, which is supposed to be the lightest one out of the 4, and look at that, so pigmented. I picked up this one because this will be the perfect contour shade. Look how nice and cool it is without being too gray. I picked up the shade 310. It is for medium deep bronze, and let me swatch it next to this one, and this one, it's a lot darker than what I thought it was going to be. I have her powder bronzer on the shade 3, which I thought they were going to be the same shades, but looking at them from here, this 310 looks a lot darker than this one. I think she does say that the shades are supposed to correspond with each other. Let me just swatch this one next to this 310. See, they're not the same shades at all. Even if I shear this out a little bit, the cream still's a bit lighter than the powder. Especially in person, the powder looks a lot lighter than the cream. And I also have the powder on the shade 4. The shade number 4 on the powder is just off. Like, this is just way too reddish. Before we move on to the demo part of this video, I do want to do some comparisons, and I have my Chanel cream bronzers. This one is Deep Bronze from Chanel, and damn, the shades are so similar. So the Deep Bronze from Chanel and then the 310 from Charlotte Tilbury, when it comes to shades, they're right there. Then this one is the Universal shade from Chanel. Let me swatch it right here. It's a bit lighter. I also want to compare it to Amber from Fenty Beauty because this is like really gray, and let me see. It might be right there with Fair, so let's see. See what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? Yes, Amber from the Fenty Beauty Contour Stick, it's super similar to Fair. Look at that. This one is a bit darker though, but they have the same amount of like grayish cool undertone. Look at that. And I really love this contour stick. So if you have Amber from Fenty Beauty, now you have an idea on how Fair looks. I also have Espresso, but don't even ask me why I have this shade. Like, this is just so dark. This is definitely not for me. Definitely not for me. That's when my intensity comes out, you know? I have this baby from Makeup by Mario on the shade Medium Dark. So this one, it's a bit darker than 310 from Charlotte Tilbury. We have Westman Atelier on the shade Truffle. No, this one, it's not the same shade as 310 from Charlotte Tilbury. They have different undertones. These swatches are looking fucked up. Ew. And then we have Rare Beauty Full of Life, which is definitely not the same undertones and not the same shade at all as 310 from Charlotte Tilbury. Damn, this one looks so reddish. Like, it looks red next to all these other bronzers. Wow, and on the face, it doesn't look like that at all. This one from Jaclyn Hill's on the shade Toasty. It's a lot lighter than all the other ones, and it's giving me like an olive undertone. What's up with this Sculpt from Patrick Ta. This one is also lighter than the one from Charlotte Tilbury. And this one is one of my favorite cream contours from Tom Ford. This is the shade Intensity 3. The formulation of this is completely different from the one from Charlotte Tilbury, but I'm just comparing the shades. And it's a lot darker. And then last but not least, I have Chocolate from Fenty Beauty and also Toffee Tease. Let me see. I don't have no more space. This one is Chocolate. It's a lot darker. Yes. And this one is even darker. Compare this one from Says on the video. My bad. This one is the shade Medium Bronze. And those two, they're the ones from Charlotte Tilbury. Fair, and then the 3 medium, and this one is the one from Says. See how the one from Says, it's a lot more orangey, and then the consistency, it's more like balmy. The ones from Charlotte Tilbury, they're like straight up cream. Here you have all the swatches. If you already own Deep Bronze from Chanel, it is so similar to 310 from Charlotte Tilbury. You can actually see it from here, that they're so close when it comes to shades. Even when it comes to formulations, they're super close. The only difference is that the one from Charlotte Tilbury, the consistency, it's a bit thicker, but it's up to you if you already have this and you want to buy this. They're like right there with each other. And the shade Amber from Fenty looks like Fair, even though they're not the same formulation. And if you ask me, yes, I do like this formula a little bit better than this one. This one tends to get a little patchy and just gives a little bit of issues from time to time. This one is a lot creamier, it's gonna glide better, and you already know. But when it comes to shades, they're like right there. You won't be able to tell which one it's which one. This one is from Fenty and this one is from Charlotte Tilbury. I have you all up in my grill, and you already know that we have to try this on bare skin, because even if I'm not wearing makeup, I still like to define my face with a little bit of bronzer, and a good bronzer have to show up on bare skin. The best way for you to give definition to your face, if you're not wearing any makeup, it will always be with a cream bronzer. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the shade Fair with my Tom Ford 04 brush. Let's contour. So you do see it, but see how on the face it looks a lot lighter. I'm just gonna blend it with this Charlotte Tilbury brush. Wow, look at the way it blends, like butter. The shade Fair, it is not going to be the most convenient one if you are my skin tone on bare skin, because it's like disappearing. You do see a little bit of like a hint right there, but you can't see it at all on bare skin. You will be able to see it a lot more on top of foundation though. Now this one is the shade 310. This is what it is. Okay, so now we're talking. Okay, so this one is actually really dark. You have to have a light hand. Don't go bananas. Like I just did. But the good thing about it is that look how blendable it is. You saw how much I had on. And look, it blended in beautiful. It melted in the skin. Like it disappeared. Look at that. I could actually go with a little bit more, because I can barely see it. But this one is definitely my shade for sure. This one is giving me the perfect sun-kissed look on bare skin. I like it. Alright, so I'm back and I'm full glamming. I have foundation, concealer, and I haven't set anything yet, but right here, my under eyes. Let's put these babies to the test on top of makeup. I'm gonna start with the shade Fair. I'm gonna pick it up the same way that I did before, and I'm gonna use it to contour. See how it's showing a lot more on top of a foundation? I just love how beautiful this cream formulation glides on the skin. But even though it is showing a lot more on top of foundation, it's still light for my skin tone. So you definitely won't be able to use Shea Fair as bronzer. What I want to get out of the Shea Fair, it's like a nice sheer shadow, and it is giving it to me. It is definitely buildable. The more I apply, the darker it gets. See how now it's showing a little bit more? And I love the fact that even though it's cool undertone and it's grayish, it's not an ugly type of gray. Like, it's not making my face look dirty or muddy at all. So this shade is gonna be flattering on all skin tones, especially if you are lighter than me. They blended beautiful on top of powder. It didn't pick up anything underneath because I did set my under eyes, and you see how flawless it looks. This is with the Shea Fair and this is without it, and you can perfectly see that it did give me a nice pretty definition. I lowered my lights. I brought you all the way in so you can see how the Shea Fair looks on my skin tone without the studio lights, and look at that. That looks stunning. Look how snatched my face looks. Yes, and it's flawless. I love the fact that it sets down right away. It doesn't feel sticky or tacky whatsoever. I really love the way the Shea Fair looks on me, a lot. And you don't have to worry about going into hem, the pigmentation, if it's too much, take away at all, because this shade gives the perfect amount of pigmentation. Now really quick, my husband is gonna kill me. I'm still here. Oh no! And I have to go to Orlando, like I told you guys before. Now I'm gonna be applying the shade 310 right on top of the Shea Fair. So this is contouring, and then now we're gonna be bronzing up the face. I'll be using my Scott Barn brush. This is my favorite brush for cream bronzer, and I'm just gonna apply right on top. Oof, are you seeing this? Now it's giving it the perfect amount of warmth. Wow. So look how stunning. I have to do my eyebrows. Oh my gosh. Ignore that. Look how fucking pretty. The Shea Fair at the bottom and then 310 on top. It's looking on the face. Like, this is giving. I really didn't think I was gonna love both of the shades, and I don't want to sound pushy, but both of the shades together, they're giving me the perfect definition and the perfect warmth. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I say snatch. You know what I mean? The Shea Fair by itself might be a bit too cool, and then the shade 310 by itself, it's a little bit too warm. But when you mix them together, it's like this one is giving to this one and this one is giving to this one. Yes. I was gonna go finish up the other side of camera, but I'm just gonna do something for you guys. In this side of the face, let's only use the shade 310 so we can see the difference between both of the shades together, and then this shade, which is really the shade for my skin tone, looks by itself. See how this shade looks a lot warmer by itself, but it still looks pretty though. This is with only the shade 310, and then this one is with both of them together. I do like this side a lot more. See how this side, the one that I used, the 310, looks a lot more accentuated than this side. Let me just match this up. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the Shea Fair. And now it's looking a little bit better. I do not contour my nose if it's not with something like this. Cool, gray. I do not like to use nothing warm on my nose. First of all, it looks a lot more natural. And second of all, it will never look fake. If you use a bronzer with a gray undertone on your nose, look at the difference. If you were to put on your nose something like this, you're gonna look nuts. This is gonna be the perfect cream bronzer if you have oily skin, because it's creamy but it's not too emollient. I'm obsessed with the natural hydrating finish that it has without being glowy. I love it. The formulation, the pigmentation, the way it blends, the way it performs, overall, it's amazing. Now, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 like I always do. You definitely don't need 2 shades at all. If you are looking for more of a bronze look, sun-kissed, then definitely go with 310. But if you wanna just contour, definition, shadow, then I do love the shade Fair. I love it. If you're looking for more definition, more of a shadow, settle, natural, just like a little something, a little hint of like color, then definitely go with Fair 1. I love this shade for contouring. Now, if you already have a lot of contour products in your collection, then the shade Fair 1 by itself, it's not a must-have. It's really not worth it for you to pick this big ass thing up if you're only gonna use it for contour. If you already have a lot of contouring products in your collection, then I do recommend you to pick the shade 310 because it's gonna give you a beautiful sun-kissed look. And if you're like me and you want to pick both of them up, I do like them. Do like them better on top of makeup. I wish that they will show up a little bit more on bare skin. Only thing that I'm like, it's just that they're not the most convenient to travel because the packaging is just so big. Right now I want to take both of them with me, but like how the fuck I'm gonna take both of these big ass packagings? No. They're beautiful. She killed it. I have to give her credit. This is a big yes. You definitely need it in your life. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about these bronzers? Do you like them? You don't like them? Do you already pick them up? You don't want them at all? Let me know. Thank you again for another great video. I love you to the moon and back. Mwah. Bye.